Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Saturday on our channel and we've got to talk about the latest episode of Star Wars Skeleton Crew. I'm going to give you our rundown and sort of break it all down and tell you what I think is going to happen. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so we have got to talk about the new episode of Star Wars Skeleton Crew. There are only 2 episodes left after this one, and it is going to end either on a major cliffhanger or it's going to end with an opening for them to return. And I think the latter is more than likely true. However, I think we will see an end to their story, but it will be an opening for them to be able to return. And of course, this review of this episode will contain spoilers. You can't talk about the series without having spoilers because Star Wars has so much to talk about, and a show like this requires you to really break it down a little bit in order to tell you guys where I think it could go from here. And with each episode, I've kind of done this, and sometimes I've been a little bit on the nose, and sometimes I have been completely wrong. But we don't know exactly yet how this ends, so it's still fun to have these little moments where we can guess and ponder. However, that being said, this is going to contain spoilers like I told you, so if you have not watched the episode and are afraid of major spoilers and a complete breakdown of the episode, then you might want to pause the video, go watch the episode, and then come back to us. And go ahead and do that. We will wait right here. So if you're still here or you don't mind spoilers, let's continue on. Alright, so episode 6 of Skeleton Crew is called Zero Friends Again, and it's directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Now, this is important because Bryce Dallas Howard has really wanted to do some Star Wars projects, and she's done a few things for them so far, and I have to say that she's one of the directors I look forward to. Her and Ron Howard being part of the Star Wars universe completely is something that I love. That being said, the episode begins with Jod and SM-33 Smee being captured by the pirates that had come to get him to begin with. Some of them had survived the incident in the last episode, along with his former companion Pocket. They take Jod and SM-33 back to the pirate Brutus for execution. Now, while this is going on, the children have dropped out of the lair that they were in at the bottom of the resort, and KB reveals that she has memorized the coordinates to Aden, so she knows where they're going. However, they have an argument and decide to split up. This is the part in the 80s little adventure movie where the heroes have an argument. I don't need you, I don't need you. And they all decide to just split up. And then, of course, they end up realizing they need each other and come back together. This is that part right at the beginning of this episode. So, after they get into an argument on how to actually get back to the Onyx Cinder, their ship, they end up with Fern and Nil trying to go up a mountain while Wim and KB try to follow some crabs. They try to follow some trash crabs that are really cute, but you can tell right away that this probably isn't going to end good. So then what happens after that is that Jod talks his way out of his execution, and in fact, he kind of seems like he may have started a bit of a mutiny, or at least in terms of right now, gotten everybody on his side, and this results in them telling him, If what you're telling us isn't true, we're going to execute you. But for right now, we're willing to believe you. We're willing to believe that you know where you're going and that Aden is real and what you say is going to happen when we get there is actually going to happen. But if you're wrong, prepare to die. And that's kind of where we're at with that. Well, meanwhile, KB's cybernetics are malfunctioning because of corrosion. Now, in terms of KB, we know that she had an accident, which is the reason for her wearing the headgear. This has been stated by Star Wars. So this is actually canon. She has had some sort of accident that requires her to wear this headgear. So they've told us a little bit more in this regard in terms of how this headgear can be helpful in various ways. So we get a cool little scene with Wim trying to repair her headgear. I think it was a cool scene to get to see her get this headgear replaced, because seeing her get this headgear replaced is something that I think really was needed. It was something we needed to see in Star Wars eventually, because it just was a little scene that added to her personality, added to the danger of the situation. Overall, I thought that it was fun to get to see that for a change. And I hope that we get to see other technology in Star Wars examined more in with these little details. That to me is a lot of fun. So while Wim is trying to fix her, it's a really cool little scene with him actually learning how to fix her cybernetics. But while this is going on, Fern and Nil actually recover the ship. They get to the Onyx Cinder, and they see their friends are in danger because the crabs, of course, are not really, friendly. You have this really big one that looks like it's going to eat them now. So it's up to Fern and Nil to actually save everyone. And this is kind of cool because now we get to see them come in and try to save their friends. And the ship is caught in the garbage machine, and it's forcing the children to have to pull it out. So what they do is they hit the button that they were told in previous episodes never to hit. And this results in them actually managing to escape. And of course, they rip off some of the ship. So now it looks a little bit different, but it looks awesome and it's great. And they depart the planet in a sleeker, more slender, more familiar Star Wars looking type of ship. So it's really cool. And that's where the episode ends. So where do I think the series is going to go from here? Well, obviously they're all going to reunite with Jod and SM-33. That's going to happen. But did he really betray them? Because the way that he talks himself out of an execution is kind of similar to what you would expect, yet again, from a Jedi Knight. Perhaps one that's in hiding. So I still am kind of on this theory that he may actually turn out to be a Jedi and may turn out to be a good guy. But we don't know this for sure. Basically, we don't know what's going on with him at all. Is he the good guy? Is he the bad guy? Is he leading the pirates into a trap? Does he already know that the kids are going to escape anyway? Does he have that much faith in them? Because ultimately, he does seem like he's going to leave them in the beginning of the episode. He seems like he's getting ready to leave. But it could just be that he was captured and doesn't actually intend to leave the kids. That's kind of the real question here. You're left wondering if he was going to end up going back for them or if he really was going to abandon them. Either way, it was a nice little episode about the kids getting to rescue themselves, probably giving them a little bit of faith that they can get back to their planet. Something that at this point I feel they needed in the show. With 2 episodes left, we can almost guarantee they're going to catch up to the pirates. And I think that they're going to reach at Aden in the next episode. I honestly think that that's what's going to happen. They're going to reach at Aden in the next episode, and we're going to see them sort of return home. Only they're not going to be able to go directly back to their parents because they're going to go in and find that the pirates are there. And whether or not Jod really did betray them, at which point the last episode will be that grand hurrah battle. And if Jod is indeed a Jedi, we will get that reveal probably in that last episode. They're going to keep that till the end. If he is actually a pirate and does intend on betraying the kids, then at that point the kids will be victorious and they will save their little neighborhood and their planet. And perhaps Aden will go back into the obscurity that it had all this time. However, I don't think that it's going to be completely forgotten now, because I think what's going to happen is that once this show ends, Aden is going to be something that is known. This little part of this world, this little part of this planet, and all the other planets like it are going to be exposed, because we already got hints that there were more planets that are in a similar situation to Aden, that they are sort of not really there, but Aden has been erased on every single map, and you gotta wonder why. So I think that once the show ends, Aden will be revealed to exist, and it will actually be put on maps going forward. I think that Aden may in fact play a big part in the Mandalorian movie that's coming out, because we do know that these kids are potentially going to make a cameo appearance in the movie. And I have to imagine that if Jod does turn out to be a Jedi, and you have an actor who is someone that can pull off a lot of really cool stuff. He can pull off a lot of emotions, but then at the same time, he's well enough known that him being a Jedi wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility in a movie. He could pull off being the resident Jedi, or even, let's go another route. What if he isn't a Jedi but a Sith in hiding, and this is sort of the way forward, and then he could have a much bigger role in the future? I don't see that happening. I do think that, however, it could prove that to be a fact that he is a Jedi. I still kind of am leaning on that, just because it's so strange how they're handling his character that I think there's got to be more to it. But I do know that regardless of how his character turns out, the kids are possibly returning for the new Mandalorian movie that's going to be coming out. So that's where we have to go with that. That whatever happens in this series has got to lead to bigger things. Now that's where I'm going to leave it off to you guys, because I want to know what you guys think about this. Have you seen this episode yet? And what do you think? Do you think that Jod is going to turn out to be a Jedi? Do you think he's going to turn out to be just a pirate scoundrel that they're going to have to defeat? Or do you think that maybe there's a possibility he's the new enemy going forward in future Star Wars projects? He is definitely an actor of that caliber. I mean, when you have Jude Law, why not use him? And that's kind of where I'm at with that. I think that they should use him. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is a one and done project for him? Or do you think that he has plans to return in future Star Wars projects? Are you excited about the possibility of these children actually returning in other things? Or do you think that this show should be a one and done? Do you think that possibly it should get a second season? Are you excited to see these kids at any point in the future? As always, we want to hear from you guys, so make sure you are leaving us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Also, don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of this crazy conversation we're having. And then make sure you hit that like button. It's free, it helps the channel, and we really do appreciate it. And then Miko says we need more subscribers, and look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. And then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.